This podcast is recorded on Aboriginal land. We pay our respects to elders past and present and recognise that sovereignty was never ceded. Welcome back to the Radical Online Leftist Pipeline Podcast. And I'm Mitch Alexander. I'm the only one here. Tom Tanuki recorded something else, and I'm going to chuck that in a little bit. But I'm the only person recording because we're real fucking busy. Which idiot thought that the four of us could get together and do a podcast every week? Fucking dumb. So I'm just sort of talking at my PC now. It's a disconcerting experience. Might just scroll Twitter and you can listen to me zone out as I look. It's really quite fucking distracting. Anyway, I wanted to briefly touch on something regardless of the fact that I couldn't get anyone else on to record at the moment. There's a lot of things happening. I don't know if you've noticed. You might have fucking noticed. But this one announcement from our fucking government has set me off because it's so craven. It's genuinely like a soulless thing to do, but it's also so marvelously out of touch. Amanda Rishworth, Minister for Social Services and the National Disability Insurance Scheme, federal member for Kingston, I might be reading directly from her Twitter profile, had this tweet come out a couple days ago. She said, Australians struggling with cost of living will get access to interest-free loans of up to $3,000 to help pay for household goods, medical expenses, yada, yada, yada. An interest-free loan, for fuck's sake. What sort of ghoulish, out-of-touch, like vampire looks at people struggling and goes, you know what you fucking need? More debt. Don't worry though, there'll be no interest on it. There'll be no interest on this handout, you filthy fucking poor, who I hate because I'm a federal member of parliament. I fucking despise you, so you'll take your scraps and you'll be fucking thankful for them. It's so sneering to offer an interest-free loan to someone who needs a new fucking fridge. Yeah? Or like a washing machine has blown up. If you're going to take an interest-free loan of up to $3,000, you're in dire straits economically. Rishworth, these people just need some fucking money. Can you just give them some fucking money? It's absurd. And the thing is, on the face of it, already super fucked. Obviously. It's a interest-free loan, which again, cooked up by people who like took an interest-free loan when they failed to meet overheads for the first 3 months of changing their operating financial systems to a different software or some shit. When their logistics company found some problems with international trade and they took an interest-free loan from some. Oh, it was so good. It was so good for me and the business and my family, and when we were trying to make 3 different mortgages, the interest-free loan that we got really saved our hide. So people on Centrelink are going to really like an interest-free loan. People working 3 part-time jobs are going to love this interest-free loan. My heart is made of coal, and it pumps black tar around my fucking veins. I'm in the Labor Party. Anyway. The other hidden part about this is that it's come under a $50 million investment from the Albanese Labor government, where he wants to put his fucking name on this too. These people have the political acumen of sloths. It's fucking absurd. Anyway, this $50 million investment isn't a pool of 50 million Australian dollars that they will give to you and expect back graciously with no interest. Because they're angels and they're not fucking demonic flesh-eating ghouls, right? But this, I'm reading now from the Ministers for the Department of Social Services website, a media release on the 19th, talking about no interest loans locked in to help ease cost of living. They're going to be investing the next 5 years with an additional $48.7 million, so not the $50 million originally advertised. But, quote, the funding boost to the no interest loans program, NILs, will allow Good Shepherd Australia New Zealand, in partnership with National Australia Bank, NAB, to continue providing no fee, no interest loans for essentials to eligible people. Good Shepherd administers the scheme, with NAB providing the loan capital. It's a fucking wealth transfer. It's NAB. It's NAB Bank offering these fucking loans, put through what can only be described as a satanic cult name, Good Shepherd, the most evil-sounding fucking company name I can think of. But this is a wealth transfer, right? It's more complicated than this. Don't get up my ass about how tax and money and sovereign nations work and blah, 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 blah. But what's essentially happening here is that the government taxes us, and they take our Australian dollars, and they put them away, right? Then they allocate 48.7 million of those dollars they have taken from us, and they're giving it to Good Shepherd and NAB to give to us. And then they're saying, you give that money right back, cunt. You fucking give all of that money back. And God help you if you fucking don't. Remember robo-debt? You horrible fucking poor people. Remember how scared you were of debt collectors, of maybe not being allowed to leave the fucking country? Well, we're doing it again. Because this is another, who knows what happens if this interest-free loan doesn't get paid back? Can they garner wages? Will they just take Centrelink money? Fucking probably. Will they just wipe it? Probably fucking not. What if someone like Dutton gets in next and there's all this debt sitting here that maybe could have interest put on it? Who knows what they're fucking planning? Instead of just giving people money, they are taxing us. They're taxing you listening to this. They're getting that money and they're giving it to NAB to give to us and then demand it straight back. It's decrepit. It is a spinelessness combined with an evilness that only Australian Labor could get. I can't fucking believe that a bunch of old, out of touch Gen Xers and boomers sat around their fucking cabinet meeting tables and thought, what's the best way we could help those most in need that would give a hard on to big business? That would have the Reserve Bank fucking barring up at the thought. That would have the Liberal... How can we wedge the Liberal Party on this? Is it going to be anything that actually helps people? No. Is it going to put further future financial strain on poor people? Absolutely, and good, because they deserve it. These fucking cunts hate you. I said it last week, and I'll continue to fucking say it. They don't think that an Australian in need is actually deserving of help. For whatever reason, they look at an Australian who needs a washing machine or a fridge or some tyres on their car to get to work, to get to one of their 3 fucking jobs, and they go, oh, I fucking hate you. Oh, I despise your fucking existence. What's the bare minimum I could do to get back to my real job, which is being a middle manager for big business and fiddling around the fucking edges and enriching myself and my friend, teeing up the job I will take once I'm out of Parliament. That's what they're fucking doing. It's disgusting. If anyone listening to this, maybe like a Labor dirt unit, a Labor social media person who has to listen to this shit, firstly, fuck you. Second of all, redeem yourself. You can save your soul. Post some secrets on social media, change the password, and destroy the phone. Delete everything else. Go on your way with a clean heart and a clean soul. Anyway, speaking of social media, here's a solo take from Tom Tanuki as well.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Tom Tanuki here, social media influencer, user of an archipelago of big tech social media platforms. They are the most profound aspects of my personality, my character, that I want you to all remember me for when I'm gone. Chuck 'em on me tombstone. I'll never forget the way that guy used to log on and post daily. Some of the best days of my life were in my youth, logging on in the morning to watch what Tom Tanuki would say on big tech social media platforms. What he'd do, and I used to love this about him, was he'd copy what he said on Twitter and then he'd paste it into Facebook, you know, and sometimes he'd even adjust it slightly for Twitter given its character limitations. What a guy. We'll never forget that about him. That's the best bit about him. I'm talking to you with reference, if you hadn't guessed already, to our social media conversation. If you had listened to that, I hope you had. I thought it was a good conversation we all had from a few weeks ago, a few episodes ago. Forgive me for not remembering the episode number. I'm a busy guy. I'm a busy influencer. You might recall, if you did listen to it, I found myself caught somewhere between Mitch, who was like, oh, get off the platforms, you know what I mean? I'll get off Twitter in particular, I think, and organise and do stuff elsewhere. And Pingers, who was very much like, well, you know, we should use these platforms for whatever they're worth. I was between that. I could see either arguments for. In fact, I'm looking for an answer. I'm searching for it, and it's something that updates quite regularly as we watch the decline of these platforms, as we watch the decline of their fucking, regressive man-child owners, Zuck and Musk and so on, into the far-right politics that I think they hope will save them from the coming wave of reforms that will put increasing, liability on them for owning these big tech platforms and allowing hate speech and what have you on there. They could see the writing on the wall in the EU, for example, and they want to push back against it, and they see that the incredibly pliant and corruptible far right is probably their best bet to be able to do that. So they're abandoning the, post-Christchurch era reforms and commitments to protecting against hate speech on their platforms. They're getting rid of all that shit. So this is all happening very rapidly, and, it follows that we should have a different answer. But it's only a couple of weeks on since that conversation, so I wanted to say I've changed a lot regarding Twitter in particular. X, or whatever. I'm not interested in talking about the name. I'm logging on that platform and I'm getting ads for the National Socialist Network. Now, I'm not the greatest advocate of deplatforming per se. I think those arguments were just and right to have in the late 2010s, but they've been eroded away so decisively that sometimes, and this may be a question of the shifting sands sense that I have of the right's successful vibe shift on culture. Now I might feel, I think I feel that it's their clown world now, and it's almost me that needs platforming or deplatforming in their successful fucking, circus clown world show. But I'm getting ads on Twitter for the National Socialist Network. And I've heard people complaining about, given my history in talking about National Socialism and the far-right organisation in Australia and so on and so forth, I get messages from people going, oh, have you seen this? Oh, what are you going to do? You know what I mean? What are we going to do about it? Is there some law? Is there something under which they can be prosecuted? And I look at it and I think to myself increasingly, well, but it's kind of their platform, isn't it? So I don't like it, but I increasingly begin to wonder about what can be done under the current set of laws, And if you've followed me at length, I'm not really the kind of person who says to myself, who says in public, who sets the agenda of saying, oh, let's look at the laws at our disposal and use the best laws and agitate for more laws to deal with these people. In fact, that I'm usually the person saying, no, a successful response, an anti-fascist response to the far right doesn't entail agitating for more criminalisation of the far right. That, in fact, increases the likelihood that they'll succeed as a grassroots extremist movement. My take has always been that, it's collective organisation, and it's basically, the body of us, the body of the public getting together and deciding who is a fuckwit, who don't we want part of our collective, and then collectively going, well, you're a fuckwit, I don't want you in my, my town square, in my discourse and so on. Twitter's always been not very greatly used. There's never been very many people on Twitter, even as a percentage of the population in America, let alone here. We've got fuck all Australians on Twitter. We've got some great power users, you know what I mean? Some obsessive people with approaching 1 million fucking tweets. Holy shit, log off, man. But the usefulness of Twitter always came in that its outsized contribution to discourse coming in the form of the amount of people who were like media types, leading political figures, leading activists, all getting together, all quite accessible on the platform, all quite responsive on the platform, and therefore its use as a news platform. Masqueraded the blue tick system. Now I don't see the responses by people who are in a best position to provide expertise under the replies. I see responses from brain-melted MAGA chuds and raving fucking crypto incels. That's who I see in the response. So, there's no more expertise that's easily accessible. All that's buried in the bottom, if it's there at all. A lot of journalists and the like have logged off from there anyway. They've made a principled decision to get off. I'm not really the kind of person who makes principled decisions to go, well, there's a few too many Nazis here for me, so I'm not going to wait around this muck. I have far-right accounts across a variety of platforms. I'm not active on them, though. Like I have a Gab account, I have accounts here, there, everywhere. I use an Odyssey account. That's a fucking Nazi video platform. But I use it because YouTube is one of the big tech platforms that does respond a little bit too jumpily to sham defamation complaints from people. I lose my videos all the time to litigious and lagging inclined far-right people who don't like the things that I've said about them. So I have an Odyssey account waiting in the wings. I did put one video about Spanion up on there because it included some, the influencer guy, lad influencer Spanion, because it included some stuff that he'd said about Hitler. And I put it on YouTube and it got the video banned, and it said, well, if you do that another 2 times, you're going to lose your account. I don't want to lose that account, So I'll put things like that on Odyssey. I'm going to be using it more and more in the future, for the kind of content that you can't post anywhere else. So, I'll make use of these platforms. But why am I logging onto an account that doesn't give me the news I used to get from it, that sort of sense that I'm watching a live blow-by-blow of unfolding events and the like, across partisanship? I'm happy to read the right and what have you, but, the left too were on there. I don't see that anymore. The algorithm pushes that down, or it just doesn't exist because people have logged off. I can't see that anymore, but I do get tailored ads sent to me for the National Socialist Network. Why am I on this platform, putting my videos up, sharing them with people? As I said before, as a utility to me, there can be a usefulness to this thing. But, as we discussed in our social media conversation, this archipelago, given the way that our entire world is structured, this archipelago of social media platforms forms part of the core or the personal hub of your identity. Whether you like it or not, whether you talk about detoxing and logging off for your mental health's sake all the time or not, these things become part of that core hub, this archipelago of satellite, conversational or content nodes that forms who you are. That might be a bit miserable to say, but it's the truth. What I'm saying is that logging onto a platform like that, having it on my phone, it's getting to me. It's depressing me. It's making me feel miserable and like the world is surrounded by these Nazi shit stains. The truth is, it's no more surrounded by them in bulk. I'm no more surrounded by fucking bloody National Socialist Network members than I was ever surrounded previously by blue tick fucking new left journalists in the old Twitter. As we said before, outsized contribution. But these having these pages on your phone represents an outsized contribution to your own sense of yourself and who you're surrounded by. And it's fucking depressing to me. And in exchange for what? I'm not engaging with people anymore. I don't post on there as much, but when I do, people don't see it. Because I don't have a blue tick, because I haven't paid for it. And I don't think that it's all that important for me to do that. What is important for me to do is to conserve my energy and my sense of positivity and optimism so I am more useful to future political battles. Now, the way to do that is not to post some big performative, I'm living Twitter post. I've decided that shit's cringe. That shit's played out. But I have now looked across this and I've decided, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to post the links to the other little platforms that I'm on quietly, just so you know, you can catch me here. Not even say goodbye, not doing all that shit. And I'm going to log off. I'm going to delete it from my phone and I'm going to keep it there. I keep it on my computer or something, so when I log on, I can look at the far-right shit stains that, you know, from time to time are my wheelhouse to discuss. It's helpful to still have it there. But I'm not going to keep it on my phone where it can contribute to some dwindling sense that I'm surrounded by more and more of these fuckwits. That's not worth it. Not for this degrading, fucking vile platform. You know? I might reply occasionally to other people, but maybe I can just start using them and abusing them now, you know? Maybe I can stop worrying about keeping this account. Oh no, it's got thousands of followers. That's really important. Maybe I can just start giving these people the abuse and the threats that they deserve. And if I lose the account, well, so be it. That's fine. It doesn't matter. So that's where I'm currently at with it. Feel free as now as ever to tell me what you think about that. I'm interested in that. You can contact us through the pod at the email that Mitch always reads out at the end of the episodes. But you can contact me. Platforms that you will still find me on are Blue Sky. I hope to keep that on my phone and start looking at that a bit more regularly in place of where I might have regularly had the habit of opening up Twitter. Still on Instagram. Increasingly I'm regarding that similarly, you know. Click on that For You section. I was talking with Mitch and that about this the other night, and they were saying, you can't talk about what comes up in your For You, because if you say it can't... Mine's filled with swastikas and porn. Now, or light porn. Now, people's response to this is like, well, you're the one clicking on it. Well, yeah, you know what? I am clicking on it to go, why the fuck is it there? I didn't start it, though. I didn't ever start looking at fucking porn and swazies in my For You. You know what I mean? That is not what you load up Instagram for, mate. But there it is, you know? And it's more prevalent in the past few months than ever. Correlating with, Zuck's political orientation shift in public, I believe. But for the time being, I'm still going to have it there. Facebook, look, I've basically already gone to this kind of usage with Facebook anyway. I lost my material so much on Facebook in the past few years that I just don't regard it as like, we talked about dead internet theory in that episode. Well, I think it's like dead internet. It's just fucking a timeline full of AI slop and maybe a few sad, lonely, aimless boomers, I don't know what good can be gained from being on Facebook anymore. So those platforms are me, but, you can catch me obviously on YouTube as well. I'll be updating my YouTube videos in the future. Of course, I'll be regularly doing them. Look, can I be honest with you? It's my hope that if I fucking delete things like Twitter, then I'll have more energy to do the core business of me being online, which is things like videos. Anyway, maybe it's an experiment then in that sense. Let's see how we go. But I'm off fucking Twitter either way. Fuck that shit.
Thanks again for listening to another episode, a weird episode of the Radical Online Leftist Pipeline podcast. I swear to God we'll be getting back in as a group soon and on a run, maybe. We'll see how we go. But we are planning on doing some listener question episodes coming up very soon. So if you have a question you'd like to send us, if you have a clarification, anything like that, alpdotgov@proton.me. Our theme music is Capo Dog by Al Carlson, and our artwork is Our Members Be Unlimited. You can find them on social media and wherever you find things. The internet, it's full of stuff. We'll catch you next week.